My name is Conrad Murray. I'm a beatboxer, director, music director, composer, and I was actually the music director and composer of all the songs in Crongton Knights. I'm going to do a workshop with you, showing you how to kind of create beats and vocal percussion with your mouth, blending out of melodies and ideas from text, because a lot of the time I work with different texts, already texts or ideas that are already there, to create my own kind of adaptation and my own responses to those. So how you might go around doing that and creating your own pieces in some workshops. So hopefully you enjoy this. So in this workshop, it's 30 minutes of activities. So what I expect you to do is I'll explain some activities. You can pause, and then you can write, you can respond, you can practice those activities, then put the video on again and carry on, and then go through the next activity, go for the next activity. So that's how it's going to work. I'm going to explain some stuff, and sometimes there'll be some call and response in the video while I'm going to go on. I leave these tracks running that you can write to, but you can always wind back and then listen and write to it. But also you can pause and get going to the activities, create your own beats, create your own sounds, your own bars, and get going with the activities. So that's how it's going to work. Let's get cracking. Okay, so we're going to be using our mouse. So you might want to start off by warming up and just doing some breathing exercises. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and out. And we're going to do it in 4. So we're going to go in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. So in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And do that a few times just to warm up. We're going to do some sirens, like an NG sound. And move your mouth and lips around, find different resonance, places you might have kind of little glitches and where you want to kind of warm up. I'm going to do a big yawn. And a good way to do that is to open the back of your throat. I'm going to go from a high pitch to a low. We're going to open our mouth and the back of our throat. So do that a few times just to warm up. We're going to do a lip trill. First, we're going to do it without any sound, like a raspberry. And what we're doing is we're breathing in, and they're actually supporting from our diaphragm. We're holding from our stomach, and we're breathing out. And we're supporting our breath here. So actually, some people feel like they can't do this, but it's nothing to do with the lips. It's the fluid air that makes the lips vibrate. And I'm going to add some tones in there. You can do that a few times just to get warmed up, and then you might want to warm up your mouths and jaws, do a big chew. You might want to massage your cheeks and your face and underneath here to warm up the bottom of your tongue. And like, la 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 la. La 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 la. And just do, we're warming up our faces and mouths. We're opening up those cavities, getting some resonance. We're going to move our tongue 8 ways to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 ways the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to go 4 that way, 2, 2, 1, 1. We're warming up our tongues and our mouths. So you can pause the video here. You can proceed with that until you feel warm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the beatbox basics. We're going to learn the basic beatbox sounds, and that's how what we did with Crongton Knights. We all learned beats, and people got quite advanced quite quickly into doing beats and stuff. But once we learned how to do the sounds, we could then use our own creativity to experiment with different grooves. So what we're going to learn the 3 basic foundation. I say basic, they're the foundation beatbox sounds, but there's nothing basic about them. These are great sounds to create all of our music. So okay, what we're going to do is, wherever you are, I just want you to think of these 3 kind of sounds: boom, tee, and cla. So can you repeat after me? Can you say boom, tee, cla? And what I want you to do is I want you to put as much kind of energy into this as possible. Whether you're in a, I know it can be hard if you're in a small room, maybe your mum and dad's in the next room. Let's wake everyone up. So boom, Tee Cla. Okay, what we want to do, we want to really open our mouths, put some energy into that, because music basically is energy. These vocal sounds, we want to put as much energy and animation into them as possible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn boom Tee Cla into, and how we're gonna do that is we're gonna take the vowels off of those sounds. So we're gonna take off the oo, the e, and the ah away. So instead of bu, we're going Tee Cla, ah, we're going to take them off to make. So we're going to start on the boom. We said boom. We're going to take the we're going to take it off, and we're just going to go. So can you repeat after me? Can you go? Okay, and if you find that you're not getting the right amount of resonance, volume, and sound from your kick drum sound, what you might want to do is blow a raspberry at the start of your sound. So the raspberry sound was, so you might want to add a little bit of that. Okay, you might want to add that to it. So that is our kick drum sound. So you can do your own patterns, and you can also rewind back and follow that call and response to practice your timing and also your hi-hat skills. Let's put our two sounds together, the kick drum and the hi-hat. So and you can do many different variations to create your own groove with those two foundation fundamental beatbox sounds. So now we're going to move on to the snare. We said boom, Tee Cla. We're going to move on to the Cla sound. We're going to take all of the ah off, and we're just going to be left with the k sound. So we're going to go. Now you may find at first that your snare sounds like a or maybe a or maybe a, and that's all okay because all snares are welcome. So let's do some call and response just using the snare sound. So great, so now let's put all of our three beatbox sounds together, these drums together. So and again, you can use many different variations to do grooves, and you can listen to music and point out the way the patterns are going with the percussive hi-hats, and you can kind of copy those sounds and put them together to create your own grooves. But we're gonna move on to the foundation beat now. Boom Tee Boo Cla, boom Tee boom Cla, and this is a really important beat because it's a classic hip hop break, and off of this you can do all sorts. Once you've mastered this beat, you can do all sorts of sounds. Okay, so we're going to learn the foundation beat. So all I want you to do is I want you to repeat after me. Can you say boom Tee boom Cla, boom Tee boom Cla? Boom Tee boom Cla, boom Tee boom Cla. Boom Tee boom Cla, boom Tee boom Cla. Boom Tee boom Cla, boom Tee boom Cla. And you're going to turn that into boom boom, tee, boom, clap, boom, tee, boom, clap. So we're going to break it down. So we're going to go boom, tee, boom, clap. And what's tricky is going back to the kick drum after the hi-hat, because for some reason at first we don't, it's not instinctive to go back to that sound. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and go back to back. So I'm going to do a beat, and you can try this with someone else in your house. So I want to go. Now you. And if you're finding you're not getting the sound, you might want to pause this and just keep practicing your. Slow it down, speed it up, try many different ways. Once you have that beat, then we can start doing a lot of other things. So you can start adding things and writing with your sounds. So this gives us a good groove. So once you have this, once you've learned this groove, you can add to it using a loop station or putting that on your phone and writing some bars to it, or getting a loop app and start creating. Once you have that sound, you got a nice core to start writing to and beatboxing straight away. And I'll give you some tips. If you've got a microphone at home, what you want to do is you want to cup the mic. So if I beatbox like this, it sounds like this. Ooh, things are dropping everywhere. If I beat this, obviously it sounds awesome. If I cut the mic, it sounds like this. It's a lot louder, a lot bassier. So you want to put it to the bottom of our palm like this. You want to cover it like that. And you want to put this little chamber here right up. You're going to put your handy right up to your mouthy. So next up, we're going to get a bit creative. We're going to use Crongton Knights as our stimulus. This hat here, you can see it says Crongton on it, and it was actually made for me by the actor, the performer Kate that plays Bushy. So it's Crongton hat. So we're gonna choose a scenario in the story, and we're gonna choose a couple of characters, and we're gonna see what we do to kind of respond to create to that. So we're gonna choose the part in a rave. All the characters enter this rave. They've been through the woods. They want to chill out. They want to get over a lot of things that's previously happened to them. So okay, we're in a rave. Okay, so we might want to think of what kind of music in the rave. Is it some down tempo kind of trap tune? Is it a club tune? And who are the characters there? So we've got the Magnificent Six in there. Festus is in there, one of his henchmen. So we want to pick some characters. So first off, you want to think of a club, and you can have all different sounds in a club. But we're going to think of a beat, kick drum pattern, and you can pick your own one. But for example, you might want to do this. You might want to go. So some pumping vibe pattern. As a start, so you might want to start creating a beat. So we start off with this kick drum. This could be techno, it could be house. A lot of tunes have this 4 to the floor sounds, and then we've got this bass sound. Oh, so hi-hat sound on the off beat. And I did this, and that's the bass sound. Back of my throat, and I'm going wow, 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 wow. So putting this together. So we're in the club. We've got this. So I want you to think about. Maybe you want to listen to some club tracks and put together your own vibe. Maybe you have a loop station. But also, you could put something in your phone. And this could be the beat. But you don't need a beat. You could be writing some rap lyrics, or you could be writing some songs and singing. So we're going to focus on the characters in the club of Venetia. Hopefully, you've read the book. Venetia is kind of feisty. She had her phone stolen. They've had this troublesome journey and this night. And actually, in the club, it's kind of a moment where they're partying, but actually they're actually getting over a lot of stuff. It's not just kind of you know, having a good time. It's having a good time, but they're trying to get over it. And so it's up to you to decide whether at this moment in this song that we're creating in the club, you could choose a different moment. But right now, maybe you could be writing to the club as well, whether she means it when she's getting into it, or is it a cover up. So we've got this. Now we had an open line in Crongton Knights for one of the songs, and it's "We step into the party and we pose." So I'm going to give you that line. You don't have to use it, but we step into the party and we pose. And there's another line, so it goes. Party and we pose. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So you can write the other lines for that. I'm going to give you a starting line. Step into the party and we pose. Da, 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 da. And you can. That's your kind of prompt, and you get to add onto it to get these 4 lines. And it's about this sass. We step in, we're posing, we're showing. You know what's going on inside. They're going in there. They're kind of showing off. I mean, you can write something. You can rap. You can sing. Maybe it's a spoken word thing from Venetia's standpoint. So we've got this club, and we're getting this monologue from the character of Venetia. Also in the club is Festus Livingstone. Now we know about Festus. He's a bad guy. He's the kind of the gang leader, but we don't know everything about him, and we can be a bit creative. We can learn more about him, so we can choose Festus in the club, and we can make things up. So I was thinking of some ideas earlier. Maybe he's just done a deal that's gone bad and he's in the club, and we can get those out in some rap lyrics or some spoken word, or maybe he's singing. Maybe he's got some stolen goods on him. Something went bad. Maybe he's looking to just get liquor up. Maybe he's looking to get drunk in the rave, having a good time. Maybe he notices Venetia. Maybe there's a little back and forth. Or maybe he's out there looking at girls. You can decide. Maybe he's hidden some contraband items. And what you can do is you can write your lyrics and put them together to make your own song. What I would suggest is, once you've created your beat, your rhythm, your percussion for this moment, use your phone or a loop station and put it down. So maybe your beat can be different. It could be anything. The club doesn't have to be a pumping club. It could be a different kind of vibe, because the music will set the scene. The music gives it the vibe, and also we give the characters the vibe. We read it a different way. So you can decide what your kind of beat is, and then choose. Maybe you choose one character for a chorus, another character verse, or you just focus on one character. So it could be Venetia, or Festus could be doing a chorus and then a verse. So maybe write 4-bar chorus, 16-bar verse, and just have a play around. And again, you could just be lyrics. It doesn't have to be the beat, but if you've got the beats on you can record it on your phone and play back. But I'm going to leave the beat playing now for a bit. And if you could write to this. So there's one tune in the show that is called Strong, and it's kind of anthem for the female characters in the show. And I'm just gonna kind of break down how that song is actually made up. So we started with this beat. And then we added this bass line to it. And this sound is it's kind of like a guitar, really. We're kind of modulating the sound. So I'm going ooh, ooh, at the back of my throat. And it's a bit like an 808 kind of sound from an old digital drum machine. And over the top over there, I'm going like a cough sound. And I put them both together. So I've got that, and then the So you can have a go at kind of listening to these sounds, playing them back, and practicing. As you can see, these are all, in a way, quite simple sounds that bring a whole composition together. That you can make in your loop station or on your computer if you've got some DAW kind of software, Cubase, Logic, things like that. But it gives you a flavour on how we compose the songs in the show, and you can layer them up. This song is called and the lyrics for this tune will be you can download the lyrics. But there's the first two lines are we're strong, we make it up as we go along, and that's all of that is kind of about, you know, being strong. But actually, sometimes being strong is you're faking it till you make it, and actually then you become strong. You know, we just got to be it. Sometimes, you know, the idea of this is as females, sometimes the strength kind of isn't. You know, the rights aren't given, the strength isn't given. So instead, it's we've got to be strong for ourselves. We've got to do this, and the characters tell these kind of internal monologues. So we get to know these stories. It's quite a classical in telling a story and staging it, and that's why we did it, so that we could get some of the emotions out from the characters that you wouldn't necessarily get from reading the book. You knew they were there, you could feel it, but they're not kind of explicitly there. So a task that I would like to set you is to pick, let's just say in the last task in the club, the scenario is, you know, it's in current time, you're in the club, how have you written your lyrics, what's going on? But what we want to do now is kind of find a moment in the book, is to and you want to kind of tell a story, an internal story, this kind of monologue, soliloquy, but through song, so that, you know, there could be some dramatic irony going on. The audience know, but the other characters don't really know what's going around. They're the surface level, and I guess that's one of the ways that we put the music in the show was, and found the lyrics, was kind of finding these moments where we learn just a little bit more about the story. And you know, the show's a show in itself, and it tells a story, its own story. But also, if you actually already read the book, it tells you you get more depth to that story, and they kind of complement each other. So what I'd like you to try is think about a moment in the book where you could actually transform the kind of external into the internal, so you can start telling the inside story of the character, whether it be in a rap, whether it be in a spoken word moment. So we learn a little bit more, and you know, you could this could be the kind of tempo you write to. So I'm gonna leave this playing now. So there's a lot to think about there and have a go with. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. You can try it out. Gives you something to think about and looking in the book. Cheers. Yeah, so thank you for listening to me. I've been Conrad Murray. I've really enjoyed doing this session under these circumstances. Big ups to Pilot. Practice your sounds every day. If you want to, if you've got some responses, if you've written some stuff, if you've done some sounds, any sounds, even if it's just a kick drum, you've mastered the foundation beat, any of those things, please hashtag CK Festival. So Crongton, hashtag Crongton Knights Festival. If you want to find out about me, you can add me on Instagram. So my Instagram name is Rodium, Rodium. That's the name of my hip hop crew. And you can find me on Twitter, Rodium Records. Also the Beatbox Academy. Look out for us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The same with Rodium as well. And you can send me some stuff and find out all the kind of things I'm doing, the music I'm releasing, and all the shows and stuff. And cheers. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you next time.